Hi, America. It's time to talk. It's Pride Weekend in Portland, and more than ever, I wish I could join in the celebration. It's frustrating that sometimes people don't understand the importance or value of pride, and I can't speak for everyone, but I can tell you why it's important to me. The Orlando tragedy brought out the best of humanity, and the Orlando tragedy brought out the very worst in humanity. While I don't want to dwell on the latter, it's important to in order to understand my point. So let's choose just one example. Pastor Roger Jimenez stood in front of his Northern California Baptist congregation and spewed hatred following the shooting. He claimed that LGBT people and pedophiles were inextricably connected and that he would not mourn the loss of 50 pedophiles. The only sadness he expressed was the sadness that the shooter was unable to finish the job. Yes, this is an extreme example, but it illustrates the hatred and the ignorance that still exists in the world that LGBT people face on a daily basis. Always scanning for minute signals that foreshadow violence, always having to be prepared to defend yourself whether it's physically or verbally, always having to take a defensive posture. For many, Pride is the only time of year that people can openly express their sexual orientation, gender identity, or all-around queerness. It's the only time of the year that political figures, companies, and people actively take a stand and say, I see you, I acknowledge you, I support you, I am you. For someone who has to spend the rest of the year fighting to validate their existence, Pride is not just a breath of fresh air, but it's a weekend of encouragement that the world isn't as bad as our experiences paint it to be. As my brothers, sisters, and allies celebrate Pride this weekend, I hope you keep in mind the tragedy that has afflicted our community. I hope that you realize that we are uniquely poised to take on the NRA and the gun lobby to make significant changes in this country. Less than half a century ago, not only were our sex lives legislated against, but our very existence was swept under the rug. I think the Washington Post said it best in that article everyone is passing around. The article explained how and why this time things are different. Quote, it's because the victims were part of a social movement with infrastructure and political know-how largely unmatched within the gun control movement. It's because the attack targeted gays, and their community is organized. Get involved. Text "disarm hate" to 64433 to be patched through to your senator's office. Sign this petition. Share this post. Do something. It's time to talk.